Hey guys, so, what you hear in the background are cicadas. Here in Austin, they come out in summer. Somebody commented in one of my videos today. She left a very sweet comment, followed by, said, I wanted to see if you could talk about a devotee hexing, sending witchcraft to other devotees, and wishing bad on them. I wanted to know what your opinion and thoughts on this is. So it only recently came to my attention. I don't exactly know what's going on. Like, there's apparently like something going on with devotees in TikTok, I think it is. I'm not sure. But I only recently found out because I bumped into another devotees video. They were talking about some kind of drama going on. I'm going to be honest, I don't care to do much research on it. Obviously, those of us who know Santamuerte and have a relationship with her and have a devotion with her, we know that she is the furthest thing from that. We are all flawed. We're all on individual journeys. I don't want to define what makes a person good, what makes a person bad, but everybody is on a different journey. I also think that a lot of times we do things 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. A lot of people regret things that they've done. And so it depends on also the stage in life in which you are. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a teenager, you're going to make a lot of stupid mistakes. And then when you're, older, when you're an adult, you're probably going to look back and be like, that was very stupid of me to do. And you may have regrets. You may want to apologize to people that you hurt. Okay, so this is just me giving the benefit of the doubt as to why devotees hex each other, curse each other, wish bad on each other. Obviously, it goes without saying it should be the opposite, right? Especially because if you see it from a very unselfish point of view, Santamuerte already has a lot of hate around the world. There is a lot of negative things said about her. And so it would be almost like a common sense thing. Well, don't you think as a whole, her devotees, do we want her to be seen in that light? No, of course not. That's why so many of us are trying to also come out, because she's already notorious for, being used by people doing not the best things around the world. So a lot of us are trying to come out and be like, hey, we're not all doing those things. There's a lot of devotees who want the best for other people, who wish the best for other people. Even people that do things sometimes that I don't agree with, I still want the best for them. I want them to grow. I want them to be better people. It's like there's devotees of all ages. There's devotees that are like under 18. There are devotees that are in their 70s, 80s, 60s. This is just me, again, giving the benefit of the doubt to people, that the people who are younger, or let's say even in 30s. I mean, there's people that are very immature for, in their late 30s. People act out of hurt. And when people are hurt, a lot of time, the ego takes over. They want revenge. If somebody feels wronged, they're going to want to somehow, in their mind, create a balance, create justice. Maybe in reality, they are actually not creating justice. Maybe they were in the wrong. But in their head, they're probably thinking they're doing what's correct, what's fair, what's just. At the end of the day, Santamuerte has a way to balance out the scales. Although it may seem many times that people are getting away with things, I absolutely believe that Santamuerte somehow balances the scales. And I truly believe that with all my heart. But I'm going to be honest, there isn't much that I have to say about this. Obviously, I think it's absolutely wrong, but again, we as humans are flawed. We don't always act with common sense. We a lot of times act out of ego. Truly, I think the source of it all is pain. We feel we were somehow wronged or disrespected. This is why we end up doing, things like that. It doesn't make it right. But hurt people hurt people. I try to be very sympathetic and empathetic with people and why they do what they do. Doesn't mean I don't hold them accountable. It doesn't mean that I don't want justice, right? But I always ask Santamuerte for that. I ask Santamuerte to protect me. And I ask Santamuerte to Bring me justice where I have had injustice in my life. And if I'm not fair with somebody, to show it to me. I always try to be very fair. I always try to self-analyze. And I actually would tell all of you to do the same. You know, even if we're angry, and even when I'm angry and I think I'm acting correctly or I think I'm justified, when I cool down, I always go back and I'm like, did I act correctly? Was I maybe wrong in what I said? And I have no problem correcting it or apologizing. No problem. I'm like, look, you know, or if I think I was somewhat wrong or I could have done slightly better. Let's say I was in the right. Let's say that my actions were justified for me to be furious, but I could have just acted a little better with more patience, with more understanding. I always say you attract more bees with honey. Even if you were wronged and you were correct in being very upset, you don't know the impact and the turnaround in the situation if you are the bigger person. You cannot give up in trying to be the bigger person. You can be the bigger person all the time, and that's okay. You were born with greater patience and greater understanding than other people. And obviously with that also comes the burden of being more forgiving. So that is just the way I see it. That is the way that I approach life. Now that I'm here, let me show you guys the moon. How beautiful is that, right? Like I said, I don't have much to say on this topic. It's, you know, pretty obvious. It's simply sad that this is the reality. The best thing that I can tell you is choose to do what's right. Choose to be the kinder person. Choose to be the more understanding person. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't mean that I want you to just take it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be a martyr. Martyr, or however you say it. You absolutely should protect yourself and defend yourself. But what I do is I leave it up to santamuerte. I ask her to avenge me. I ask her to bring me justice. I tell her, I'm like, santamuerte, you know my heart, you know my intentions, you know I did not deserve this, and I ask you to bring me justice. I ask you to correct this wrong. This is the way I see it. I never want to really like go ahead and do like hexing or return to sender or anything like that. I'm a human with a finite amount of energy. And there are so many things in my life that I want to accomplish. I have so many goals. I have financial goals. I'm not going to be investing my energy in throwing things back at people. I am going to leave it up to my spirits. I completely trust the spirits that I work with to bring me justice, to bring me balance, to bring me stability, to bring me respect, to give me my place. My job, what the greatest weight that I hold to myself is to be fair, to be just, and to ask for forgiveness when I know I could have acted a little better. But all right, I'll talk to you guys soon.